Hey, welcome to the Create Your Art podcast, where we are here to help you know and believe that your voice matters in this world and that you are an artist and you should bring that voice out into the world. We are on mission to help as many people as we can find their voice and create their art. And we're glad that you are here. And I'm super glad that you are here because today is a special day because I have not only Mr. Dave Cooper with us, but also my dad. Mr. Dave, thank you so much for joining me here on the Create Your Art podcast.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, I bet this is his favorite thing. He loves doing this. He loves talking about all this stuff. You don't have to lie to me, Dad. It's okay. It's not your favorite.
Oh, you're right. It's not my favorite. You're right.
But we're going to make you do it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about your story, but I think for those that might not know who you are right off the bat, even though most people know who you are. But to get us started here, over the years, you've been a serial entrepreneur, if you will, done a handful of different things. But in the last 30 years or so, you've built something pretty sustainable with Community Reinvestment Foundation, or CRF, that was a nonprofit that now has, at this point, given millions and millions of dollars all around the world to missions projects, which is absolutely, sitting here today, pretty amazing, right? That you could say that after years of serial entrepreneurship and different things,
right,
and having all that kind of fun stuff happen. And now you get to say, man, this impact of being able to funnel money all around the world is pretty crazy, pretty impactful. Can you talk to me a little bit about what that journey was like? Did you know this is where it was headed? Did you know, like, this is where I wanted to go, or was this kind of just following the steps in front of it?
Well, in reality, if you're talking about Community Reinvestment Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
The story started in 1992.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that it was something that is a great idea that came to me, because in reality, it came from a conversation with a gentleman named Tim Shrow,
Yeah.
who attended our church. He was involved in the multifamily housing business with his father-in-law.
Mm.
And it all came about, we ran into each other one night at dinner and started talking. And I had made a decision a few months before that to make a change in what I was doing.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked about that. And he
Sure.
said, well, why don't we go to lunch and have a conversation? And so we were involved with the church in missions, and ever since we moved here and from the East Coast and got involved at Lakeview Church, and I don't remember the year, but it was a long time ago. And that we attended that church because I went to college with Tommy Paino, and so we were close friends.
Yeah, he was the pastor of the church. No,
he was assistant pastor.
He was assistant pastor. That's right. That's right.
Right, and so we had always been involved in missions because that church is very heavily involved in missions.
That was their thing.
Well, and Tim, his group, his father-in-law was very strong with missions, especially in that church. And so that was just ingrained in us. Every time we go to church, they were talking missions. And so when we went out to lunch that day, he said, I've got an idea. He's in the housing business, and he said there's a new program that has just come out with the government, with HUD, and so that we could maybe do something here, because they had this grant program. They had properties that were over 20 years old that they originally funded, and they were at the point where they all needed to be rehabbed. And so it was an opportunity for us to get grants and rehab these properties. Well, it just made sense.
Gotcha.
It just made sense that we would do it as a not-for-profit, because that way we could give any profits that we made from that to missions through, probably more than likely through Lakeview.
Yeah.
But as it grew and grew, it became more than that.
Yeah. So was the opportunity then with the government subsidy and all that kind of stuff, was it, did it need to be a nonprofit organization, or was that just the choice that you guys made?
No, it did not have to be. I think it gave us a step up in the program because there were a large number of these properties that were available. And so it was going to be a great opportunity for us to go in. Like I said, all these properties need to be rehabbed.
Yeah.
And so we could do it as a not-for-profit. We'd get the grant from the government and do the rehab. Yeah. And so that's where it all started.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea starter, if you will.
Right.
But so what I'm hearing is you have a conversation with Tim. You guys are at church together. The church is a missions-driven church. Yep. You're going, hey, there's an opportunity with this business with inside of what the government is offering.
Right.
And then the creativity with it stems from going, hey, we could do this as a nonprofit.
Right.
We could fund 50% of the dollars out to those missions projects. We can build the business with the other 50. Right. We could actually make something kind of cool out of this. That was was that the conversation you and Tim were having?
Exactly. And so naturally, I was kind of between gigs at the moment. and so it sounded really good to me.
Yeah.
I think it sounded really good to my wife too.
Yeah. Mom liked it.
So it was just a perfect opportunity to put together. He had the experience and he had the knowledge, and I was a beginner, but I was willing to learn. So that's how it all came about.
Yeah, you had built something before that, right? You had built a company, you had sold a company. There was some you had experience in building things, right. And you just had the starting line was there. So you're like, hey, let's dive in and see what we can create there.
Right.
And so I love that because it really speaks to the idea of conversations around a table lead to, hey, there's a good opportunity here. We can actually build something, use what is out there to creatively put this thing together. And now 30 plus years later, it's a thing that has made a serious impact, and it's just cool to see. So I wanted to start there because you have done so many different things in life when it comes to business. It's just cool to see the last 30 years. And how old were you when CRF began? I think this is an interesting stat for me. How old were you?
You may have
roughly?
to help me with the math.
Well, I'm not sure I'm good at it. So it was 92?
1992.
I was in second grade. I only know that because I was the one that in 92 I was in second grade, in 93 I was in third grade, in 94. Mrs. McCrary in fourth grade taught me that, and I will never look back again. I will always know where I was at. So I'm in second grade. I don't know.
Okay, if we really want to work the math,
92.
Okay, 1992 it started. And what were you asking me? What year was I born? Is that what you're asking?
No, if you want to put that on record, you can.
Well, in order to tell you how old I was, I'd have to go back and do
true.
that math.
Yeah.
So,
you were born in 43?
1944.
44? Mom's helping us. You can help us out, Mom, because we're bad at math right now. 92. How old was Dad? You remember? 50?
50 would have been 1944 plus 50 be 1994.
Okay.
So it'd be 48.
So you were 48. Look at that. That was quick math. Somebody was literally in the car driving, listening to this going, 48!
Yeah.
40! Yeah, they knew. They were
I've got
screaming.
this little thing in my ear.
Yeah, exactly. So you're 48 years old when you start this. And I love bringing that point out because a lot of people go, oh, it's too late for me. I haven't done anything significant. It's too late for me. And at 48 years old, you start out on a journey that 30 plus years later, millions of dollars to missions, successful, like the whole thing from start to finish. And some people at 26 are going, "Oh, I'm washed up." You know, you're like, "No, you got plenty of time.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's go back. Let's go back a little bit before 50 or 48.
Okay.
And you started out as a CPA, right? And you kind of went the safe road. You worked at a firm, right?
That's not real. If you want to really go back to the beginning.
Okay. We're going back a step before
Graduated from college.
Okay, yeah.
Now I always had a part-time job from the time I was in 10th grade. So we don't need to talk about those.
Oh, you've had some good part-time jobs though.
Well, that's true. Maybe we'll talk about those.
Yeah, we might get there.
The ketchup factory,
Yep.
the hotel. Yeah,
Yep.
we may want to talk about those. But in 1968, I graduated.
Okay.
We got married that year. And my full-time gig started out as a 9th grade school teacher.
Oh.
Teaching general business and business math to 9th graders.
Did you love that?
Well, I loved it when I quit. I learned real quick that 9th graders didn't really care about learning how to write a check and balancing a bank account and all that. So it was a real struggle for me. So I lasted a year.
One whole year.
Yeah. And so and
were you a CPA at this
no,
point? Like you hadn't even taken
never even thought about being one at that point.
Ah, gotcha.
So when that year came up, I was looking for a job. Well, I found a job. There was an health insurance company that had a contract with the Medicare program to audit hospitals and nursing homes to make sure that they were doing what they were supposed to do.
Gotcha.
And so I took that job, and Karen was teaching school at the time, and so we ended up having to move to Philadelphia.
No.
So we moved to Philadelphia, and she got a job there. She was taught typing. You know what typing is?
I think I was in the last of the typing classes, I believe.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And if you needed copies, you used carbon paper.
Oh wow, carbon paper.
Yeah,
That's
so you
taking
get
me back.
Yeah, but don't make a mistake on the top one because you got to correct the back.
Oh,
anyhow,
man.
that's not here today. So we moved to Philadelphia, and we were there. I think we stayed there about 3 years, 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
And we had gone to homecoming at the college we graduated from, Evangel. It's a university now, Evangel University. And we had gone there, and we had run into some friends from when we were in school who lived in Indianapolis. And
that was the connection to Indy.
Yeah, and the one guy says to me, "When you guys going to move to Indianapolis?" And I just said, "Whenever you find me a job." I didn't plan on moving there, but about 2 weeks later, I get a call from a CPA firm, and that's where it all started. They called, and they had a number of nursing homes that they did audits for and all that, and they needed somebody that had the background. And since I did audits, they thought that I would really love to do that.
Oh yeah. So you're in Philly. You're working for a company that does audits.
Correct.
And then you make this joke with a buddy. Find me a job.
Yes.
They call with literally a job in Indy.
Yes.
For a company that does audits. That's what ends up bringing you here. Is that job?
That's where it all started. Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So we it's not like you set out to be a CPA. You were, again, kind of following the steps of what life was having for you.
Right.
You always told me when you worked in the ketchup factory, you were like, I at least learned what I didn't want to do for the rest of my life. Like that was the lesson that I learned. After one shift, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. So you just continue now, school teacher. And then it's like, all right, that wasn't really for me, not what I want to do. oh, next door's open, let's step into that and
Right.
kind of see how that flows.
Right.
And so there's an interesting parallel as you're starting to kind of unfold some of these stories of just kind of taking the logical next step that's in front of you. And you make a joke to a buddy about, hey, get me a job in Indy.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're here in Indy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. So you're working for now a CPA firm doing audits
Right.
for nursing home.
Right. And one of the requirements of me taking that position was I had to be a CPA, which I was not. And I was a business major in college, had nothing to do with accounting. So part of that requirement was that I had to get my CPA certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to take classes at night at the college. I had to take accounting classes and tax classes and all that, and then work a full-time shift. One of the other, just kind of an off on this, was I did not realize when I took the job, it was, we moved here in December.
Okay.
And I did not realize that this firm had a rule that
Oh, no.
during tax season, you came to work at 8 o'clock in the morning and worked till 5, and then you went home for dinner and came back and worked from 7 to 9.
Oh, my goodness.
Even if you weren't involved in taxes or anything. Well,
You had, it was just,
I'm new to this job,
Yeah.
right? So when you're new to a job, you don't have a whole lot to do. So I'm sitting in, and back up a little bit. She didn't come because we had to move, and she had to finish her school
oh, this, okay.
and teaching job. And so I'm sitting there dark outside with just trying to find something to read and all that.
Oh,
And I'm
Lord.
going, what have I done?
Oh, yeah.
And so I made it. She finally moved out. I don't remember when when we moved, but anyhow.
Let's talk about that for a
That's-
second. So you move here. You guys are in separate states now.
Yep.
And you've taken this job after, a buddy of yours has gotten you the job.
Yep.
You move state lines, and now all of a sudden you find yourself sitting at an empty office. Probably you knew some people, but did anybody that you knew work at the business?
No, the guy that got me the job was the administrator of the nursing home at the church. The church had a nursing home.
Okay.
So
there, you had some friends per se, but not necessarily somebody that worked with. And you find yourself sitting in this office. It's dark outside in the middle of Indianapolis winter. What's going on in your mind in that point? Like, are you going?
how do I go back?
Yeah, you're going. Mom's still there, back in Philly. Do you just retreat?
Yeah.
What ended up keeping you to kind of push through that season?
Well, I just we had a lot of friends there. We did have a lot of friends there, not just the guy that
Not
used to
just
be my
one.
friend
There-
that got me
yeah.
the job.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but
He's no longer.
there were a lot of we had a lot of friends, and I knew that once we got settled in, it would work.
Yeah.
And it was a new experience. So
Did you like? Do you like the new experience? Like something new to try to do and figure out? Is that
Yes.
something you enjoy?
yeah,
Yeah.
as you look through my history, you probably find out that
Yeah.
I did a lot of that.
That must be where your son gets it too.
Yes.
So it must be. Now I understand so much about myself all of a sudden in that one question. So. Okay, so you're working. You end up getting your CPA license, right? You go
Yes.
through and do that whole thing.
Yes.
And so working at this company, auditing nursing homes, and fast forward a little bit, you kind of look around and go, I only know this because I've heard the story before, but you kind of look around going, I think I could do that, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so you end up deciding to go out on your own
Yes.
as a CPA or as something else.
Well, that story's kind of funny too, but it was kind of in between. I went to work one day went out to lunch with one of the partners who was the guy that I worked with when I first got there, and we were talking, and I just decided that I wasn't going to stay there any longer. And I told him I was done at lunch.
Just on a whim.
Yeah. So I had to go back, and I went back to the office and cleaned out my desk. And we didn't have cell phones back then. So I called my wife on the phone. I called Karen and said, hey, I'm on my way home. I just want you to know I just quit, and I'm bringing all my stuff with me.
So this wasn't a conversation that was being had over the course of months, and mom kind of had that feeling that you might be doing that or anything. It was literally you're at lunch, you go, I'm done with this.
Yes.
How did she respond when you got home?
I'd look over there and see, but I think she
is staring. She is staring at you with anger eyes right now.
Did you cry? Yes, she cried.
Oh, she cried. That was. But if you know mom, that's mom.
Yeah,
so.
And of course we had a new baby too.
Oh,
I think. So.
How old would Eric been at that point? We have our studio audience with us today here, so we'll poll our.
He was
1 or 2 kind of thing. Yeah. 1 or 2, something like that. He was young.
Probably 2.
So you're telling me that you quit your job on a whim with a 2-year-old at home and then came home and told mom after lunch. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I'm here after all of that.
But in reality, it worked out. It worked out well.
So what's going on in your mind at this point? You're going, I'm done with this. I want something new. Like, did you have an idea of what was next, or was it just like, I'll figure it out later?
No, I had an idea because, like I said early in this conversation, is that I was pretty sure that I could run a nursing home and own a nursing home and do well with it. And
because you've been auditing them, right?
Yeah.
So you're auditing them, seeing all their books, seeing how they work, seeing how it flows.
Absolutely.
And then you're going, wait a minute, that guy over there is not smarter than me.
Right.
I could probably do this, because you almost got a front seat to how the whole thing works because you had to audit them.
Yeah. Well, in addition to that, one of the administrators that I worked with at one of the nursing homes, I got to be close friends with him. We played tennis and stuff together, and so the next day I drove over to his office. It was like 40 miles away. So, I'm out of work.
Yeah.
And so we started talking, and he worked for his father-in-law, and so there's those situations.
Yeah.
And he was kind of not happy working for his father-in-law.
Sure.
And so I said, one of the nursing homes that I've been working with, the guy's talking about getting out of the business. I said, what if we went and approached him and said, how about you lease that facility to us?
Interesting.
And we'll just pay you monthly fees, and we'll take over the complete operations. We'll do everything. All you got to do is we'll send your check to Florida. And he said, that's a good idea.
He said, sign me up.
Right. And so we started that process, and he was excited about it. And so
awesome.
We started through that. Well, in the meantime, he had a friend that was a banker that was looking to get out of the banking business. And he also knew of a nursing home that was available.
Interesting.
And so it ended up the three of us formed an entity, and we started acquiring nursing homes. Started out as just rental, if you want to call it.
Right.
And then we acquired and we bought them, and then we bought some others, and that's how we took the next step. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it was as I'm listening, it's literally the next logical thing. You have you lunch one day, you quit your job, the next day you drive to a friend that just hey, this is kind of what I'm doing. This is what you were probably looking for work or connection or something, right? Or did you come with? I
was still doing some accounting work. And that's another story. I don't know if we want to tell that one or not, but
because that was something that I can do the accounting work for people. I can make some money. I can do some things that way. So it wasn't like you were completely out of nothing. You had this ability to at least have CPA stuff.
There was a space there. I had started my own CPA firm, and because I'd gotten a call from a couple of those people that I was going to try to rent from or take over their properties, and so I was doing that work. I was doing some accounting work and all. So
think of that like on the side. So you were working for the firm that was doing all of the audits, and then you kind of did some on the side.
No, this was after.
Okay.
And I started that and had my own CPA practice. I had my name on the wall, on the door,
Nice.
Hey,
what'd you call
big
it?
guy.
What'd you call it?
David E. Cooper CPA.
There it is.
A lot of thought
Creative
went
name.
into it.
I like it.
And also one of the other guys who was doing a lot of the tax work at the firm that I'd left quit. And so he called me and wanted to know if he could come over and work with me. So we kind of did a partnership. Well,
got you.
He had.
This is where the story gets fun.
Yeah, he had. Part of getting out of there was that you signed a no compete clause, and so that basically meant you can't steal any of our clients.
Right.
Well, I don't think he read that letter.
Oh.
And he sent a letter out to these clients, and so we got sued.
In breach of contract, and they came after not only, well, he kind of attached yourself to, he attached to you, and then you by proxy got sued as well.
So
did you have to pay, or were you able to get out of it? Where'd that end up?
I mean, I was kind of an innocent bystander in that. So I wrote them a letter and said, hey, I'm not interested in doing CPA work, and so I'm more than happy to just tell those people that I'd contacted or who had contacted me that I wasn't going to do it, and they dropped me out of it, and they went after him. So,
okay. So you were able to at least stay an innocent bystander and didn't get sucked into the thing. So did you officially walk away from David E. Cooper CPA at that point?
I did.
Okay. So that was kind of
I still have my CPA certificate.
Sure, you still have your license. You could still do it, but ultimately that business was, hey, you know what? I'll let that go down with the ship. Yeah.
Hey, quick pause here. If you are thinking about starting a podcast or have already started one and it's not driving business results like you would like it to, we would love to help. At 1898 Creative, we install a proven podcast system, a strategy that helps you leverage your message to attract premium clients without adding more to your plate. So if you're ready to turn your podcast into an authority engine, book a call over at 1898creative.com and let's build something awesome together. All right, now let's get back to the conversation.
So were you in tandem at that point also doing the nursing home business? So it was kind of just like, all right, that thing can go, I can go into in there. And
so that's, and so we added a few more of the nursing homes to our portfolio. And then I don't know how long it was afterwards, we decided to sell. We sold those properties.
But you built it up to a place that was something worth selling.
Oh, yes. We had 5 or 6 facilities. I can't remember. But so.
It's awesome. So you have 5 or 6 facilities. You go, hey, we have something here. We're going to sell it. What was the vision there? Was it were you and your partners just going to look to do something else? Did you have an idea, or was it just like, hey, we're going to sell this and figure it out as we go? Or do you remember?
No, I remember. I'm not sure how I want to respond to that.
It's a secret.
Well, the partners didn't get along real well together.
Gotcha. Got it. So at this point, it was, this isn't working the way that it was intended to. We need to kind of move on and do our thing and just kind of.
And this was quite a period of time. I mean,
this
was like 4 years or something.
Yeah,
in the meantime, I got involved in a restaurant and that kind of stuff as well with one of them. But at that point in time, I mean, it was just we were done.
Yeah, we needed to do something else. So, correct me if I'm wrong. You took business going well, obviously doing some good things. Then you sell, you take some of that money that's there and start to kind of invest into some other things. Like you mentioned, you had a restaurant, which growing up as a kid, my brother, Eric, who's 10 years older than me, he had it a little better. He could do this in high school and he could show off a little bit. I was younger, but man, I remember going to the restaurant called the Cork. It was awesome.
Cork at the Crossing.
Cork at the Crossing. If you're in Indianapolis, Sullivan's at Keystone and Keystone at the Crossing. That not the building because they tore your building down and rebuilt that, but that was the land that your restaurant was on. I drive by it all the time, going, "Oh man, I wish we could go in there and have some food." But it was awesome you owned a restaurant, but then you also dabbled in some other things, had some investments, had some other business. You were just trying to do other things at that point, right?
Yeah.
What was it in your mind? What was the thing at that point that you were trying to do? Was it money driven? I want to make some more money. Was it, I don't know really what I want to do. I'm just going to try to take the logical next step and get there. Or what was the drive right there for you in that time?
Well, it was kind of difficult because I knew I didn't want to be in nursing homes.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't want to be in the restaurant business, that kind. And so I really didn't have a strong idea of where I was going to go next. And that's kind of about the time that I got connected with Tim.
Okay.
And so
again,
all those pieces don't all fit together.
Sure. But again, it goes back to almost what you said in prior time of even back to the ketchup factory. You were like, you know what? I learned I don't want to be in the ketchup factory. I want to go find something else.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I know that I don't want to be in nursing homes long term. Let's go find something else. It's kind of this like, I tried it. I did. Some of them were successful. Some of them maybe not as much. And you always just kind of move to the next thing, the logical next step in all of that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that with the nursing homes was being involved with government, you know. And I say that, and I turned around, went into the.
And then we did the same thing again.
We did the same thing, but it was more. I think in reality, the nursing home and all that, it was a time to make a change because of the how can I say it politely? Conflict.
The way the partnership was structured. It needed a change. It was just not the partnership didn't ship anymore.
Right. So
no, that totally makes sense. And I think that happens a lot when you do partnerships. There's plenty of people
tough.
They're tough. I think Dave Ramsey says the only ship that doesn't sail is a partnership, you know, and so maybe there's part of that truth. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah. Interesting. Okay, so I love this. It's and maybe this is because this is how I'm wired. I'm starting to see myself and you a little bit in your story of just like kind of that next thing. It's like, oh, there's this opportunity. Let's go figure it out. And I think you were always somebody that told me, I think there was times I would come to you and say, hey, there's this opportunity here. There's these things going on. What do you think? And you're just like, why not have the conversation?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't hurt to go have the conversation. Right. I think that your story speaks to that wisdom that you continue to give me over the years of just like, hey, what's going to hurt to sit down and go, does this work? Does it not?
You can always say no.
You can always say no.
Yeah.
And that's what's so interesting about, you know, kind of the story that probably for you were just following the path, seeing what was opening, but there's these kind of truths in it of like, hey, just take the next door, take the next step, be curious enough to see if it'll work, drive 40 miles across to your buddy and say, hey, what do you think about this? Like chase the idea down. I think there's something really cool there. I want to talk a little bit about, I know that most people that start things or have this kind of entrepreneurial spirit or those that they know something's inside of them that they want to build or do or be something, there's often that voice in the back of your head that says, you can't do that. Or the fear keeps them kind of locked into the safe path, right? Oh, I could just stay in nursing homes because it's safe. I could just stay at the CPA firm because it's safe. What was that voice in the back of your head telling you as you were walking through that? Like, what were some of those fears that you had to face and overcome? Or was it just like, I don't know, I just did what I did?
Yeah, I think it was more that. Because every time I tried something, it was a learning experience. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again. And so I really think that's what the whole thing was.
I feel like a little bit of like curiosity, like you're kind of curious about like, hey, could we go do that? And you start to go down that road to see?
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Yeah. It's just it's hard to say looking back at it all after all this time.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's super interesting because it's like, as I hear you talk about it, it wasn't like, oh, I risked everything to go do this thing and jumped off this cliff, and other than quitting your job and going home and telling mom about it. But other than that, like, it's very much a, hey, there's an open door. Let's step through it. And not necessarily this wrestle at night trying to figure out, oh, I got this thing I got to go do. Is just continual steps in the right direction, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. So you decide to well, I guess at the part of the story that we're at now is you and Tim have this conversation about what is now CRF, or at this point, CRF is now much even different than what that was when you started.
Exactly.
But you go, hey, there's this opportunity, again, an open door, an opportunity to step through. Hey, let's do it. You're in between gigs. You're trying to figure out what's next. You got to get back into government work if you go down this road. But what excited you about this opportunity to start CRF, low income Section 8 housing, helping manage them and run them? Like, what got you curious enough to step into that?
Well, I think there were two things. One was I felt more comfortable with the people that I was dealing with in this conversation. People that you had trust in, people who had the same,
same vision, same...
or
belief system.
The belief system is really
they were all part of the church. It was like you kind of did life together in that front, like
And the other thing was they were all very successful. They were in the housing business. They're very successful.
Yeah.
And the third thing was that the missions giving side of it was probably the strongest of those three.
Yeah. Which was really just a potential of missions giving.
Exactly.
Because you had to build something.
Exactly.
Yeah. It doesn't, you give zero if every year you go, we didn't make any money.
Yeah.
Like the only way that you help the mission side is if you build something that's sustainable and successful.
Well, and the way we started out with that too was that we separated that from like Tim's companies and Roy Proc's companies. We separated this entity from that. We didn't ask them for anything, and I'm not sure they even understood at that point in time. Hey, we're wanting to give all this money to missions.
Yeah.
Because Roy was a big missions giver, and he's going, well, I'm giving money to missions.
Right.
And so we went through some struggles there for a long time of getting it on track. It was not as easy as we thought it was going to be. We thought, hey, these are these are government programs. We've got the experience in the housing. This should be, we got
Yeah.
it. And it didn't turn out that way. But, so it was a long, slow process from 1992. But we got there.
Yeah.
We got there.
And that's interesting because I think I've heard a kind of a business guru that does a lot of stuff right now says his kind of message is it's going to be a lot harder than you expect, and it's going to take a lot more time than you expect. Like he's almost out there preaching, it's not get rich quick. It's not overnight success. It is sleepless nights and is making things happen and is building and growing and doing and learning and that whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's almost what I hear you saying is like, hey, the opportunity was there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that the work is not there.
No, because it was really, it was really difficult even trying to get, like we had to go into the city or the town and get approval from them to do these things. And, they question you. You're coming in from out of town. We don't know you. We don't. I remember one deal was down in Tennessee, and it was an elderly lady that owned it, and she was ill. And it was not a big project. It was like 100 units, I think, something like that, 100% Section 8.
Yeah.
And I remember driving down there and talking to her. Great lady. We had a great conversation. Thought we had this all taken care of. And I went back home, and the next day I called her, and she went, well, Joe Smith came in here after you left, and I decided I've signed the papers and I'm selling it to him. It's that kind of thing of you think it's going to be just a simple process because, hey, they ought to love us. We're in here to help them. And so that kind of thing we went through a lot. And one deal down, and this was in Tennessee too, they had 5 huge properties, set up very similar to the way Tim Shrout's companies were set up with all those entities. And we had the deal all put together. We'd gone in and had met with all the town and all that.
Did all your due diligence.
The owners, the father, it was a family, the father had his own airplane, and he had an accident and got killed. And so it just, that just takes it out of you. Wow. So...
Yeah, well, and to add to that too, when you guys started, there was a whole government program that was like, oh, we're just going to kind of walk down through. I think I remember Eric telling me because he worked at there. Your whole conference table was full of all these projects. We just got to get through the paperwork, and they close them, and they're good. Yeah, and you get one done, and they shut down the program.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So, like, what does that do to your morale, if you will, when that happens?
Well, first thing you say is, I don't ever want to get involved with the government again. And I'm glad to be away from that and all that. But in reality, you still can't lose your vision of, we were wanting to do missions, but also you're dealing with Section 8 low-income people who need to be well taken care of. We were going to go in and rehab all these properties. And so you can't let that discourage you. Yeah. But you do get discouraged anyway.
Sure. How do you overcome that when you find yourself faced with what feels like a setback?
Well, I think you just have to, for one thing, pray about it, because you've, how you feel. You need
some extra help
here. And, I think that's it. But, it wasn't to be. Mm-hmm. If it didn't happen, it wasn't to be. Yeah. And so you got to go back and pray and say, take us in a new direction, because there were a lot out there. Yeah.
And to your point too, you got to keep that vision in front of you.
Yes.
Right. You had that vision of we're gonna not only go in and help these properties, the low income Section 8, we're going to make sure they feel dignity and their place is a good place to live and all of that, right?
Yeah.
But then also the vision of, if we do this right, there's millions of dollars that could end up in missions work all around the world. Like the vision is bigger than necessarily the setback.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
But you just got to keep going.
That's interesting. Yeah. And it's funny because I think, obviously watching you, I was young in 92, I was young, but obviously the last 30 years being able to kind of see what is all I really know other than the restaurant memories that I have. Like that's all I really know of you is building what is CRF and now the Stone Table, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all I really know. But it's funny because as you're telling the story, I can attest to times that I've just, fly on the wall kind of watching of like, you just, setback, we'll figure it out. Let's go, pray about it, figure out that vision keeping us here, and you go. And now over the course of 30 plus years, it's kind of staggering the impact that you've been able to make. And I say you, but like you, Tim, the whole team that has helped you build. I know it takes more than just one person, but you were kind of at the helm of that for most of that time. And so now I guess the question I always have, which I've heard you answer before, but I'll ask it again anyway, is did you ever in a million years think that this would be what it is today? Like this is the impact. I mean, there's millions of dollars. There's people around the world that your idea sitting around the table that day with Tim, there's people around the world that have been impacted by that. They're not going to know your name. You're not going to know their name. Like any of that stuff. Like, did you ever think that was where this thing was headed?
No.
Was it the vision to do something like this, or is this even bigger than maybe what your original vision was?
It's much bigger. Wow. It's much bigger. I mean, you look at people that have done what we've done. That you can name some firms here in Indianapolis,
sure,
that have done what we've done. But that's all the further they've taken it, and all the further they will take it.
Yeah.
And we've taken it, I say we because I had just a minor step in this, or minor assist in this, because we've got guys that are a lot more experienced, and I never anticipated that we would be sitting looking at a bank account of over $100 million.
Yeah. $100 million. Do you remember or know the number of missions dollars given at this point? I know Eric mentioned it to me at one point, but I can't remember.
I don't.
Yeah, but it's multi-millions of dollars given around the world.
Yes.
To different projects, to amazing things that are happening around the world.
Yes.
And it's not just. I want to make sure that people understand. It's not just I can't say the word philanthropy for just the sake of giving. It's not, here it's strategic dollars. It's things that build beyond yourself into other businesses even too, that kind of sustain. And that's what I've always loved about what you've done is it's not just I'm raising funds to go give them away and, hey, can you give me your dollar so I can give them away? It's let's build a business engine, something that generates and makes, the world a better place here. And then ultimately we're able to spread that around.
Yeah.
And so, okay. So somebody might, maybe your son, that if you did this as a for-profit entity, I always joke that I would be a trust fund baby at this point if you'd have done it as a for-profit.
Definitely.
But talk me through like you said the church was obviously a big thing of, hey, you got to give to missions, so that was kind of ingrained. But you could have done what everybody else does and go, I'll just build a really successful business, I'll give it away myself. What was the driving force there in going, man, this makes sense to do it nonprofit? I'm stepping out, like I'm not the one that gets all the the dollars. It's literally just being given away. What was the desire behind that? Where'd that come from?
Well, basically, it was the whole concept when we designed it. Even when we designed it and we gave $100 away.
Yeah.
That was the whole purpose. I never thought, wow, I could have done that and gotten my name on that building or whatever. That never entered my mind.
Yeah.
I never.
It's just not part of the desire.
No,
not your drive.
and I didn't do this by myself. There were a lot of other individuals, the Shrouts and
Tom Pano and
yeah,
probably many others around.
Yeah,
Yeah. You don't want to start naming them because then you're like somebody gets left out,
yeah,
right? But yeah.
So strike that other name that I
Yeah,
used
just
a minute ago.
off the table.
But that never entered my mind of, wow, we could be
Yeah.
taking this ourselves and
Yeah.
and
Well, and I think
helping
there's
my grandkids go to college or something.
well, you still do that in a wonderful way, and so I think there's something to, people that will say that when you can kind of find yourself giving more than you receive in some way, you still get it back in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And I know that regardless of the 100 million might not be in your personal bank account, but I think you've been able to be successful in your own way along the way because of the way you've set this up. And so, it's super cool.
One of the other things that's really has helped with all that thought pattern is that we do a lot of matching of contributions, and so we really like that part of it, that a church, in fact we take, I don't know if this may have been talked about before, but every year we take an annual trip. We take a group of pastors and a couple of businessmen that we have a project specifically that we want to build the orphanage or school or church or whatever, and we take them along on the trip.
Yeah.
And then when they come back on Christmas, they make their presentation, and whatever contributions they get from that church, we match.
Yeah.
And so
it's leveraging the dollars, right? It's leveraging what you guys have been able to generate, and that's what's so cool about it, is because of the way it's set up. It's a give with us.
Yes.
It's not a give to us. I've heard Eric say that a lot. Eric, my brother, who is kind of running the Stone Table mission side of this now, but that whole idea of it, it's just everybody working on this together. And because you built this as a business engine, right? There's a business engine to it. So the dollars are being generated, and now it's not, hey, we got to cover our fees, we got to cover our people, and I need to make, a few $100,000 a year, and I got it. No, it's literally a way that you can invest all of that into making greater impact.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool about it, is inviting the churches in, inviting the business leaders in to kind of connect those things, match those dollars, and now we're better together, and just so cool to see. And I love this story, and I've always that's why I wanted to have you on, because it's obviously you're my dad and it's super cool to watch, but to hear the story of just open, walk through the next door, walk through the next door, walk through the next door. It's not, you almost don't overcomplicate it. It's not like, I need to spend sleepless nights going this and that and struggling and it.
Yeah.
What's the logical next step? What's the open door that we take? And you find you look back 30 years and you go, holy crap, there's some really beautiful things that have happened along the way.
Yeah.
And I think there's some inspiration there to some people that are listening today. And so last thing I want, Dad, and this is probably more for me than anybody else, but somebody's out there building something. Somebody out there is feeling like they should build something. What would you encourage them with? Like, the fear monster is speaking in their ear. They go, man, I have this idea. I want to make this impact, but I don't know if all the things, right? All the excuses, all the things. What would you say to them today? How would you encourage them today?
Well, we can probably come up with maybe 10 or more things right now, but it all goes back to you have to believe in what you're doing, and you have to go for it. You've got to take that step forward, because the longer you sit back and hesitate, the more likely it's not going to happen. And so if you believe in what you've got in front of you, you got to go for it, and just move ahead. Move ahead. If it's not going to happen, there's something that's going to stop you. In the near future, something that's going to stop you and say, this is the wrong path. Go this way. But you've got to move forward. You've got to make a step. And love that. And pray about it.
For real.
So
I love that, because I think often, I know in my experience, there's many times resistance comes, even when you know it's the path you're supposed to take. Resistance comes, and I heard that in your story plenty of times. You get to Philly and you go, or you get to Indy from Philly, you go, what the crap am I doing here? And then all these times the government shuts down the program. Like, all of these resistance pieces happen, and I think whenever resistance comes, I think often we think it's somebody saying to go a different path, whether it's God or something else. It's like, I need to go somewhere else. But often when resistance comes, it means that you're onto something and you got to push through it.
Yes.
And that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, because if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it.
That's a clip right there. You're going to be clipped and put on social media with that one. So awesome. Well, Dad, anything else you want to share with us today?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling us and inspiring us through your journey, because I think it's super cool as somebody that you didn't seek out the limelight to go say, hey, let me be put on the billboards and show how awesome I am. You're just a guy that got up and went to work every day and built something pretty cool. And I think that's an inspiring story to a lot of people. So thanks for sharing it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. And before you go, I want you to remember this, that you are an artist and that your voice is needed in this world more than you know, and you are loved more than you could ever imagine. So go out and create your art, and we'll see you here next time on the next episode. See ya.